Bobby didn't see it, the NBA. Now, to me, he was 100% right with what he said, but the NBA doesn't like you saying it. Basically, Mark Cuban, were better off losing than winning at 18-40. He was fined $600,000 by the NBA 5 minutes ago. So there you go. So Cuban fined, that's a lot, $600,000 by the NBA. Now, I don't know what the exact quote was. I know he basically insinuated that at 18-40, what's the point of winning? Get the number one pick and everything else. Remember, the weighted lottery is going to change for not this year. It's the year after they made the lottery changes. So if you're going to be bad, this is your last year to be bad. And if you looked at the New York Post today, they did an odds of teams, and I'll read it to you. It may have been in the news. It was in one of the New York papers regarding the Knicks' chances to win the lottery. I think it was in the news. And they did a weighted lottery for the Knicks. In other words, what is their best chance to get the number one pick? And the Suns are 18-41, the Hawks are 18-41, the Mavericks are 18-40, Magic are 18-39, so are the Kings. The Grizzlies are 18-38. The Nets are 19-40, but their pick goes to Cleveland. 20-37 Chicago, 22-36 Knicks, 23-34 Lakers, and 24-33 Hornets. So the idea was, let's see what team has got the most opportunities for ping pong balls as far as May is concerned. And the Post kind of felt it, the news kind of felt today that it was the Phoenix Suns, who are, again, they've been terrible. They got their remaining teams with winning percentage are .534. They got 3 games against Golden State. They have a 22.5% chance to win the lottery and get the top pick, a 60% chance to get the top 3 picks. So they basically said the Knicks have to, beat out Phoenix for the worst record. Right now they got a 5-game lead. Now the Mavericks are at 18-40. Now they play hard. Nowitzki's there, number 1. Number 2, you have a young freshman, a young rookie, and Dennis Smith who's into it, and Carlisle's a great coach. But, listen, the NBA doesn't want to hear it, but the bottom line is, and baseball is under the same scenario here with the Astros and the Cubs, if you're bad, and the Marlins in Tampa prove this, if you're bad, you might as well be real bad. And that is a problem in sports. In the professional sports with the lottery picks and in specifically, I don't know how it is in the hockey. Maybe them too with the bad teams. You might as well get the number 1 pick. You might as well. If you're Dallas, why win games not doing any good? You might as well lose as many games as you possibly can and have more ping pong ball opportunities in the lottery. I know the NBA, that looks terrible for the NBA. The NBA doesn't want to read that, doesn't want to hear that. They got 3 teams in the big markets, really 4 if you count Brooklyn, but 3 teams in the big markets, New York, Chicago, and LA, that are all lottery bound. And the last thing they want to read about, see, or hear an owner say, well, let's lose to have a chance to get the first pick in a draft. So from that standpoint, it becomes nasty. Cuban made it known, and he got fined $600,000. Cuban should be more wrapped up in knowing what's going on in his organization. The fact that guy was roaming around that organization for a long time, and I guess it was common knowledge among female employees, and he had no idea. No idea. Well, that's terrible. You got to know. He wasn't there for a week. The guy was there for a while. Wasn't he there 11 years? I can look it up. Maybe it wasn't that long, but whatever he was there a long time. You have to know you got to have some clue, please, some. I know he wants to do TV shows to be a big media star. I know that's his deal. That's what he wants to do. He wants to be well known, and he's made $1 billion, and he's won his championship. And he wants to occasionally pop up with the Mavericks. He'll be there when Nowitzki retires. But he wants to do Shark Tank and show up on all the business shows, hang out in L.A., Laguna, and that's what he wants to do. But he's got to know what's going on with his organization. That's a terrible job. And I know his idea was, I had no idea. He was adamant that this is never going to happen, blah, blah, blah. What a disaster. He'd make changes. He should have known. He should have known. The guy was not some, the 1,000th employee with the organization. He was a big-time guy. Anyway, that's Cuban. Lots to do in a busy show. Calls. Here's Jimmy in Ocean City, New Jersey, and he's aboard. He's on Mad Dog Unleashed. Jim, good afternoon. How are you today? What do you have for me?
Hey, Doggy, how you doing?
All right, Jim, nice to talk. What's on your mind now? Fire away.
Yeah, the working girl thing, I remember seeing it, and it was, if you remember, it was quite a shock that Sigourney Weaver said the B word when she looked in the day planner and figured out what Melody Griffith was up to.
Was that true? She did say that when she was she saw the day planner there on her bed when she came back from her broken leg in the Manhattan apartment. I don't remember that was that caused major commotion back in 1988. I don't remember that.
And they kind of got around it by having a girl say it to another girl, because like if a guy said it, I think it would have been bad. I mean, you got to remember that it was really shocking for people to say, you know, a curse word or even kind of allude to a curse word back then. But I thought your daughter would find it funny with all the day planners. I mean, there must have been 18 day planners all over the place in that movie. And when they were all the rage, if you remember, in the 80s, you know, the go-go 80s, like everybody had a really nice day planner.
Yeah, that was, it doesn't feel that long ago to me. I'd say what makes me feel old, though, when I watch the movie is the picture of the Twin Towers. That's what makes me, because you see a lot of the Twin Towers in that movie. That makes me think, that's 5 years before the guy tried to bomb it on the bottom floor, if you remember correctly. That was in 93. I mean, that's 14 years before 9/11. I mean, that's a long time ago. But, you know, outside of that, I don't feel it's that old, to be honest with you. Jason in Philly, he's with us here on Mad Dog Unleashed. Jay, good afternoon. How are you today?
I'm doing very well. Chris, how are you?
All right, Jason, nice to talk to you. What's on your mind now? Let me hear.
3 things, if you will. First of all, Working Girl, I'm all in. Jack Trainer, Tess McGill, Trask Radio, love it.
That's a great movie.
Little, you know what? Out of my sight, he said.
Yeah, out of my sight. Go clean out that office. I love the movie. I can watch it 30 times. Go ahead. Next.
Whenever it's on, it's on. The next thing is, where do I go? I'm in Pittsburgh. I travel a few days a week. My family's in Philly. I got nothing. I can't get into Iowa, Minnesota tonight like Steve Flory. I can't get into the Olympics. Doesn't have a pulse. I watched Miracle the other night. I'm watching a story about the Olympics, but not the Olympics. Do I go jigsaw puzzle? Where do I go?
Yeah, tonight's if you're in Pittsburgh tonight, you certainly don't go to New Canaan to see them play their last game of a 3-16 basketball season. I guarantee you that, although I will do that. I don't know where you go. That's a good question. In Pittsburgh tonight, no family around. Iowa, Minnesota is a rough watch. I don't know what you do tonight, to be honest with you. Maybe, you know, I'll tell you what you do. Go to bed early. Get a good night's sleep, and when you go to bed early, put Steve on the app, and you'll be in bed in 10 minutes, I promise. 10 and 20 minutes in front of the hour. He's aboard here on Mad Dog Unleashed.